Hello, everyone. Welcome to La Mama Online Happenings. My name is Matt Nasser. I'm the curator of the Experiments play reading series. I want to tell you a little bit about the series before we read our play tonight. Experiments is in its 20th season. It's a playwright-driven program. We are dedicated to the playwright. We give them rehearsal space. We connect them to actors and directors. We print their scripts. We promote the reading. Every month, we read a play in progress by an emerging playwright in the hopes to give that life further on, fully realized production. We do all of this on a shoestring budget. And in the theater, when we're doing this all together, we usually pass the hat. So I'd like to ask you to donate what you can during this time. You can either go on our website or you can text La Mama Live to 44321. Any little bit helps, so we appreciate it. So without further ado, tonight we have a truly experimental experiments. Second time is a charm. The play is called Union Community Television, Public Access Channel CRC 361, serving the greater Tolan County area. It is written by Yael Haskell. And without further ado, please enjoy the reading tonight. Thank you.
Is it? Oh, I can't always. Okay, there we go. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's just now 4:45 a.m. I'm Arthur, and this is Safe and Sound. We have a lot of wonderful reporting to share with you today, starting with some news that came in just at midnight. I would like to extend my most personal congratulations to Mr. Casey Goldblum and his wife, Kitty, who just gave birth to two beautiful babies at Union Memorial Hospital. The twins are identical, mom and dad, but so far healthy as can be. Great work to the folks in the Union Maternity Ward, especially Dr. Jennifer Claiborne Hendricks and her team of nurses. Now, I happen to know Dr. Claiborne Hendricks personally because her mother, Amanda Claiborne, may she rest in peace, was the nurse when my wife was in labor with our first son. I was scared out of my mind that day. Rose was fine, you know. Calm down, Art. I'm the one in labor. But I was blubbering like a beluga. And Nurse Claiborne had to stop me from hyperventilating. Looking back, the thought that birth would be the scariest part about parenting. To be young. We also have some excellent news from Union District Elementary this week, which is that last Tuesday, for the first time in UDE history, no students were absent from school. That's right, folks. Every first, second, third, and fourth grader in the town of Union attended school on Tuesday. Now, that's not some silly statistic. Let's break down the magnitude of this news, shall we? No student between the ages of 7 and 11 was sick last Tuesday. Every single child got dressed and ready for school. Every carpool arrived safely, and everyone managed to get there in time for attendance to be read. What a success for parents and kids alike. Tuesday was a great day in this town's history, and here at Safe and Sound, I couldn't be happier to celebrate the health and happiness of our local children. I'd like to finish up today's segment as usual by announcing the arrival and departure statistics from the Union Valley Airport. This week, 26 airplanes successfully departed from the local tarmac with only 2 minor delays of 15 minutes each. All planes arrived safely at their destinations, which ranged from Newark, New Jersey to Richmond, Virginia. Incoming flights arrived on time from all along the East Coast, and passengers continue to report a high rate of satisfaction with their travel experiences. It's a wonderful time to be a Union citizen, and as always, I am so proud of our town. Whoever you are, wherever you are, thanks for tuning in, and enjoy your day.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Buford, and you're watching Patriot News at Union District High. Today is Wednesday, March 6th, and you know what that means. 6 weeks until the biggest event of the year, prom. Our prom committee has been hard at work, and we are so excited for this year's theme, Promises, promises. The gym is being transformed as we speak, and we can't wait for what's sure to be a magical evening. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, juniors and seniors can go to Dean Budwick's office during lunch and study hall to put their names on the list. Now, we have a sponsored message from the student group CREAM, Christian Reverence Endorsing Abstinence and Monogamy, in preparation for prom.
Are you excited for prom?
I sure am. I love to dance.
Well, did you know only some types of dance are okay for school events? Others are reserved for the person you marry one day.
Wow, I didn't know that.
What do you say we go over what kinds of dancing are okay for prom?
Yeah. Is this okay?
No,
How about this one?
definitely not.
This one?
Not till marriage.
This one's okay. We left room for Jesus.
Well, not quite. When we talk about leaving room for Jesus, we need to take into account that by all archaeological research suggests that the average semi-male in the 1st century BC was probably 5'1", making him approximately 120 pounds. However, he also carried the weight of the world's sin, which likely made him about 500 pounds. According to that estimate, properly leaving room for Jesus looks more like this.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
With these simple rules, you're ready to take on prom the way God intended.
Happy dancing!
Wow. Thank you to Cream for that enlightening video. I had no idea that Jesus weighed that much. Whatever your prom plans are, it is bound to be a night to remember. Thank you for watching Patriot News at Union District High. I'm Rebecca Buford, signing off.
I wouldn't say I'm radically political. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even say I'm political. To tell you the truth, unless wanting the best for society and its constituents is political, and some people say even that is political, that everything a person believes is inherently political because beliefs are the foundation of the body politic. But I say no. I say humanity and humanitarianism and the search for veritable truth is not political. And if you think that's political, then sue me, but don't, because that's political too. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone above, beyond, or in between, I'm Roscoe. That doesn't matter. We are not here today to dabble in semantics. We are not here to respond to political instigation. We are here in pursuit of the eradication of farce, the search for mercy, justice, and an objective reality upon which we can hang our hats. Every day, we wake to find before us a paved road with triviality, mundanity, a path of footstones that inevitably leads to a younger and dumber tomorrow. Every day we opt in. I am here to convince you to unearth the road before you, to systematically remove each stone such that no future idlers may wander that path. We cannot satisfy ourselves with the writs of absolutism or physics. The world is not what it seems. Now, for our primary story of the evening, sit back, relax, and allow me to convince you that there is no such thing as time.
Are your kids ready for some fun in the sun? It's almost summer, so if you're behind on plans, look no further. I'm Lydia Haney, founder and director of Camp Kinney Hollow, the only outdoor co-ed day camp in the Tolan County area with a focus on handcrafting artisan items from bird matter. When I was a child, My family didn't have any money for expensive canvases and tempera paints. All I had was the collection of skeletons from all the birds that crashed into my bedroom window. That's why I founded Camp Kinney Hollow, a place where kids can make art using the materials available to them, harvested responsibly from the avian kingdom. If you can dream it, we can make it. Mobiles, dream catchers, collages, paintings, textiles, machine learning. We do it all. Camp Kinney Hollow is an artistic haven and a community oasis. And most importantly, it's a camp. We're licensed by the American Camp Association. And you don't need to check about that because we are. And your kids will love it. Call 873-555-9821 or visit our website to sign up your child today. Camp Kinney Hollow, where sweet Mother Bird is our naked muse.
Good morning, everyone. And thanks so much for tuning in to Safe and Sound. It's 4:47 a.m., 2 minutes late. Look at me. I'm getting lazy here. Our cat, Cloudy. You've met Cloudy before, haven't you? I brought her on the show before, or at least she brought herself on the show before. She loves to jump up on this desk here. Anyway, Cloudy, she threw up in the kitchen overnight, sometime between the hours of 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. I'm guessing. So cleanup took a couple of minutes. She's a sweet girl, but very messy. Very messy indeed. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about cats today. I'm here to talk about Union's own little Robbie Callahan, who just got engaged. Now, many of you know Robbie Callahan from the deli counter at the A&P. A bow tie guy, cuts the leanest bologna slices you've ever seen. Well, Robbie got engaged on Tuesday to Lisa Legsocks, a girl he met on vacation in Atlanta. Can you believe it? I've known Robbie since he was a little boy, but he's still little, of course. Don't tell him I said that. But I knew him when he was real little. His mama used to work with my wife down at the nursery, so the kids would play together in the greenhouse. Little Robbie's a few years older than my son. Robbie's what, 22? And all grown up. Owen's 17 now. So they were maybe 4 and 8 back then, but they got along. They got along perfectly well. Those were the days. You nearly forget about those days when you're raising a teenager. Some of the happiest times I remember are watching those boys run around the greenhouse. They had this game, Plant Masters. They had to save all the good plants from the evil plants. They were the sweetest little boys. Owen's still sweet, of course. He's 17 though. It's a different time now. He's, a lot of time in his room. Boys can be like that. Sure, it's hard growing up. We don't see him all that much, Rose and I, but he's still, of course, he's very sweet still. He has some trouble, but he's a very good boy. And little Robbie, to think that it was only years ago that he was running around the greenhouse in his underpants. Now he's engaged. It's a great day on Safe and Sound when we are able to celebrate love. In other news, Deborah Carmelesco of Union District Elementary School has just published her first children's book, Is God My Friend? Mrs. Carmelesco will be hosting Children's Story Hour later this month to share her life's work with the children of Union and hopefully answer the age-old question, is God your friend? Congratulations, Deborah, on this accomplishment. And from Union Valley Airport, we've had a spectacular week with 19 departures and 0 delays. We had one canceled flight from Union to Newburgh, but all passengers were successfully rebooked onto another flight only minutes later, well, hours later. All planes landed safely. That just about wraps up Safe and Sound for today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your day.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Patriot News. You're here just in time for our Countdown to Prom series, 5 more weeks, and we're getting more excited by the day. Here to talk about prom today is a very special guest, co-captain of the Union District High track and field team, Joshua Benjamin Swisher. Joshua Benjamin, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here at Patriot News. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Josh. I'm a senior. I didn't know we had a school news channel, so this is like weird,
Cool,
but
right? Oh,
it's chill.
super chill. Yeah. So you're a senior.
Yeah.
Super cool. Did you go to prom last year?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that experience? Who did you go with? What did you wear? What was your day like?
I went with Jessica Margolis. I wore like tux.
Tuxes are very in. Let's take a closer look at that outfit, shall we? Here we go.
Where did you get that picture?
The station does its research. Also, we're Facebook friends. Look at you guys. What a cute couple.
Yeah.
So you were a couple.
Oh, I don't know.
I totally understand. Prom is like whatever. I mean, sometimes you go with someone you like, and sometimes you go with like whoever.
Yeah, I guess so.
What was your favorite part about prom last year?
The music was pretty lit, and they had a hummus platter. That was sick.
Me too. Me too. I mean, I wasn't at prom last year. I'm a junior. I forget if I mentioned that. But if I was there, the hummus would have.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks. I mean, yeah. So, do you have plans to ask anyone to prom this year?
Probably. It'd suck to go alone.
No, I totally agree. Like it could be fun, but like it could also suck.
Yeah, so I'll probably ask someone.
But you don't know who yet.
I don't know if I should say.
Of course, yeah. We are on the news after all.
I mean, I could probably say no one really watches this, right? Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
No, it's okay. You're super. That is super true. And say you did tell us who you were going to ask. There is totally a chance that that one person is watching or even working on the show. So,
Yeah. Okay.
Joshua Benjamin, do you have any advice for juniors going to prom for the first time this year?
Have fun. You know, like this is high school, and we're young, so this is like such an important time for growth and like for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are like the times we're gonna remember till we're old. Prom is prom. So have fun.
That is really great advice. I mean, it's great to hear from someone who's a senior and like wiser in that way.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, that is about all the time we have. I'm getting the wrap-up finger from my producer, Louise. That's what that means. It means time to wrap it up. So, Fisher sharing his experience and wisdom about prom as part of our Countdown to Prom series. Joshua Benjamin, we are so grateful to have had you with us today. Whoever you asked to prom is a lucky girl.
Thanks. Yeah, this was super chill.
That is what we aim for. Patriot News. Super chill. Whoa, now I'm really getting the wrap-up finger. That is all for today, folks, and we will see you next time. I'm Rebecca Buford, signing off.
There is no objectivity in an hour. There's an extent to which we can trace the origins to the sun and stars, but in actuality, the entirety of our temporal system is constructed. Someone made up the word minute, same as someone made up the word degree. You can measure the time, you can measure how hot or cold something is, but measurement is a construct too. How do we measure? Man-made tools. Stay with me. Everything is constructed by man. The only temporal structure endemic to the universe is before and after. Events can occur before or after one another, and that's all. Even past, future are intangible. Everything in the future is constantly becoming the present, constantly becoming the past, faster and faster than you can even keep track of. So, of course, there's no present. The present is the imaginary line that separates the past and the future. It's like the shoreline, just the meeting of ocean and sand. Materially, ontologically, it's nothing. By the time you recognize that you're in the present, that moment is already the past. And so there's no such thing. Past, present, future. All that exists is before and after. That is how we mark our lives. We allow ourselves to believe otherwise because it is convenient. We are scared to admit that we have created the circumstances under which we live because admittance is acknowledgement of responsibility. How dare we? How dare we? I'm not saying this to be smart. I'm saying this so that you understand. Are you with me?
It was a strong month all around for cancer. Leukemia did well, continuing its weekly average of 1 between the ages of 70 and 90 in the Tolan County area. Lung and pancreatic cancer made a surprising splash with 2 fatalities each, for which we extend our congratulations. Hearts failed at a low to average rate with a strong latitudinal spread. 8 people died in their sleep this month, for which we are exceedingly grateful. Despite little anecdotal evidence, research suggests that this is the best way to die. In fact, we have reason to believe that death during sleep is quite pleasant. It was a profitless month here for natural disasters. Hurricane Jolene hit the north edge of Tolan County earlier this month, but by a matter of luck, claimed no souls. In other news, the town of Union had 1 car crash this month, increasing our yearly average to 3. It's been an uphill battle for vehicular casualties, but things are looking promising. Freak accidents are going to have to step up their game next month if they want to keep people on their toes. As usual, old age outpaces all.
Oh, I hate to do this, but I'm afraid you're going to have to ask you in advance to forgive me if you find me yawning in the middle of this segment. I don't mean to be. Perhaps I'm a little under the weather. I'm just tired, is all. So if you don't mind, I'm going to get right to the news. The big story of this week speaks true to the title of our show, Safe and Sound. As many of you know, the Union Planning and Zoning Commission met on Monday night to discuss the proposition of adding a stop sign on the corner of Buckley and Gablefield Road. After much discussion, the commission voted unanimously to implement an all-way stop. We can expect a 4th stop sign to be added to the intersection within 5 to 10 business days. Now, I'll admit this strikes a personal chord for me. My wife and I were looking at a house over on Gablefield a few months ago, but we decided to stay put until that big stop sign debate was settled. Rose didn't want to live anywhere that wasn't 100% safe. I brought it up again today, actually, looking at that house again. You've probably passed it. It's this beautiful colonial home. Anyway, Rose, she gets upset easily. Our house right now is perfectly fine, Arthur. Well, it's true. We've lived here for 20 years. I just thought a change would be nice. Rose doesn't like change. I don't know. I think a change would be good. It's just, it's suffocating in here. Owen only leaves his room for school, really. He has some trouble. Not trouble, but he's troubled. You understand. And Rose spent so much time in the greenhouse, which isn't, I mean, that's all right. That's just fine. He's a teenager and she's a grown woman. They can do what they please. But the other house has more of an open floor plan. I thought in a house with an open floor plan, we'd be less separate. Maybe that's silly. We don't need to be less separate. We're perfectly fine with the amount of separateness and togetherness we have now. I mean, look at me. I have a whole show and no one needs to know because we're separate enough that it's all mine and that's just fine. Anyway, that's why I'm a bit tired this morning. Rose and I were up late discussing. Discussing is the right word. Maybe fervently discussing. That doesn't matter. What does matter is the intersection at Buckley and Gablefield will now have a four-way stop. A beautiful symbol of our town's dedication to safety. To be happy, to be joyous, that's lovely. But foremost, before that, to be safe. That is the most important thing. A lot of us take safety for granted. I know I did growing up. We had the most idyllic home. Is that the word, idyllic? We had a beautiful little home, my parents and I, with the sweetest kitten you ever saw. No offense, Cloudy. Cloudy's very sweet, but very naughty, as you know. No, Willoughby. Willoughby was the sweetest kitten in the world. It's a wonderful life. My father was overseas for some time. He served, of course, as they all did back then. My mother and I would get worried, but it was always all right. He wrote us letters. We knew where he was, and he always came home. We were extremely lucky. Of course, my mother killed herself shortly after he came back for good. That was less than idyllic. She was very troubled. So, I had to leave home after that. I joined the service and I went overseas, and that was where I learned that you can never be too grateful for safety. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because, well, I didn't mean to tell you all that. I only meant to tell you, to urge you, to say thank you to the forces in your life that keep you safe and sound when harm could always be around the corner. Look at me going off on a tangent like I've got you here all day. Surely my time is up. All I'd like to do is to say congratulations, Union, on another step towards making our town the best it can be. I have no doubt that Buckley and Gablefield stop sign will be treasured by generations to come.
Hello, this is Patriot News at Union District High. I'm Rebecca Buford. Today, as part of our Countdown to Prom series, we here at the station are beyond excited to release some top secret information about the biggest event of the year. We've been holding on to this all weekend and we just can't take it anymore. Are you ready? You better be, because it's floor plans. That's right. Someone leaked the designs for the Promises floor plans. Now, we are privy to one of the most important documents provided by the prom committee. Now, why don't we take a look at the practical ramifications of this leak? For our political analysis, we hand things over to our correspondent in the field, Monica.
If you're thinking what we're thinking, then you're thinking correct. There must be a snitch in the prom committee. Why else would floor plans for the event leak at this pivotal moment in the countdown? Somebody has it out for the UDH prom, and they're looking to dismantle the institution from the top down.
Monica, can you tell us who discovered the leaked floor plans?
I sure can, Rebecca. It was me. I was printing my APUSH study guide, and when I got to the printer, the floor plans were right here under my notes.
And what do you think it means that the plans were found on the printer?
I think it can mean several things, Rebecca. The first is that whoever leaked the designs has a material mindset. They wanted to give us concrete evidence of the plans, otherwise they would have just emailed out the floor plans or posted them online. The other possibility is that they were printing the floor plans and forgot to pick them up. But I think we can all agree that option's got some implications too.
No matter how you frame this, it's suspicious. Do we have reason to believe that prom is being systematically undermined from the inside out?
Frankly, it's too soon to say. The president of the prom committee has yet to comment on the leak or its political undertones. But if the committee has made one thing clear this year, it's that they have their finger on the pulse of the 24-hour news cycle. So I'd say we can anticipate a response from them by tomorrow at the latest.
We'll have to wait and see. Thank you, Monica, for your hard-hitting reporting. It's this type of investigative journalism that makes Patriot News more than just a high school news channel. It makes us an actual news channel. Now, I'd like to introduce a special announcement from Dean Budwick.
There will be no drinking. There will be no drugs. There will be no smoking. There will be no snorting. There will be no grinding, no vaping, no moshing, no dabbing, no humping. I've been informed that dabbing is fine. But I repeat, no humping.
Thank you, Dean Budwick, for those helpful guidelines. I know that I'll be adhering to those rules come prom, and you should too. As a courtesy to the student body, we will not actually be releasing the floor plans for Promises because we recognize that the element of surprise is crucial to the experience of prom. However, we would like to make it known once more that we do have the floor plans and the floor plans are in our possession. If anyone has any knowledge about the prom committee leak, please contact our anonymous tip line. It's linked directly to my cell phone, so you can be sure I won't reveal your identity. As we wrap up today's edition of Countdown to Prom, we also have a few announcements to share from the school board. SAT 2s will be held on-site 2 Saturdays from now, so if you haven't registered, please do so immediately. Until next time, keep marking down those days. Patriot News will be back with our Countdown to Prom series. I'm Rebecca Buford, signing off.
I'm Selectman Pat Fletcher, and this is a public service announcement from Town Hall. If you are a homeowner in the Union area, you may be eligible for a septic tank pumping rebate. Town residents are being reimbursed on septic tank pumping at a rate of 0.065 cents per gallon, limited to 1 a year. Septic tank pumping tank. Mail or bring a copy of your septic tank pumping to claim your septic tank pumping rebate. Thank you, and God bless.
Listen, if you're watching this, I know what you're thinking. It's really fucking dark in there. Roscoe? Keen eye, Sherlock. So, before anyone gives me shit, allow me to acknowledge that yes, I'm fully aware that it is in dark. It's dark in here. My lamps need light bulbs. Maybe I'm being presumptuous. Maybe you didn't even notice how dark the room was before I so aggressively drew attention to it. In that case, I'd like to suggest you examine the world with a more critical eye. Now that I have my bases covered, I would like to reach out to you with the full extension of my arms in order to say, please join me on this journey to metaphysical truth. I have explained in no uncertain terms on this show that identity is constructed. I have explained in no uncertain terms that time is constructed. I have explained in fairly uncertain terms that reality as we know it is constructed. And if I have not convinced you of such, I ask you to bear with me until I get my goddamn talking points down. But what I'm talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the world, or rather, the edge of the world. Never has society been so aware of its own existence. Never before in history have the world's constituents been so conscious of their existential fragility. One gust of philosophical wind and the towers of industrialism, nationalism, humanism all fall to the ground. I, for one, would rather be a windblower than get crushed beneath the rubble of our constructs. We are at a breaking point, my friends. We have to be. This world grows less and less plausible by the day. We thought our resources were renewable. They are not. We thought globalism was tenable. It is not. If something doesn't change, who's to say that everything else we have built won't collapse around us as well? If we don't distinguish between the natural and the man-made, the elemental and the erected, we equate ourselves to God in this game of manifest creation. I know. What am I saying? I'm sitting in the dark. I'm sitting in a basement, in fact. My basement, there are people upstairs. They're my parents. They are entirely unconcerned, and here I am, in the dark, in my basement. But we are on the brink of something. I can feel it. I don't care if you believe me, but you'll want to believe me. I keep waking up at 5:42 a.m. It's been 2 weeks now. And what's that about? If that's not a sign of something, then I don't know what is. You seeing these commercials for funeral homes and nature art camps? What world are we living in anymore? We are on the brink of a metaphysical breaking point. I don't know what the instigating factor will be. I don't know yet what will push us over the edge, but from blissful ignorance into a piercing awareness of unreality, I already have my toes over the edge. I can tell you that much. You can call me radical, you can call me political, but you won't be laughing when the world comes to pieces and I'm your first responder. Yeah, think about it.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Safe and Sound. It's 4:40 a.m., so forgive me for getting started a little early today, but I just can't contain my excitement for today's segment. It is one of the great honors of my life to be able to present you with the college acceptances of this year's graduating class at Union District High. I look forward to this episode of Safe and Sound every year because education is one of the most important things in this world. What we learn, we grow, and we learn to grow. It's a beautiful process. And I'm proud to live in a town with one of the best public school systems in the country. To hear that students from Union are continuing their studies at institutions of higher learning warms my heart. So today, it is my sincere pleasure to share with you highlights from this year's senior class college acceptances. Mary Claiborne Hendricks, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Rensselaer. I hope I'm saying that right. Jessica Margolis, Quinnipiac University. Where is that? New York? Joshua Benjamin, Norwalk Community College. Great school, I'm told. Betty Zaks, whose grandfather Alfie passed away last week to pancreatic cancer. Bay Path University, Sturbridge campus. Our condolences, Betty. He would have been so proud. The UDS graduating class this year is a record high of 85 students, and we're thrilled to say that more than half of them are continuing on to pursue secondary education. We congratulate all UDS seniors on the beginning of the rest of their lives. I'd love to know what these kids' parents did to get their kids this far, wouldn't you? My son is only a junior, and so far we've yet to convince him to apply to college at all. He thinks the whole thing is pointless. Owen thinks everything in life is pointless. But don't get too concerned. Rose and I are doing our darndest to prove to him otherwise. I can only hope that he will look back at these fellow students as examples of where hard work and dedication can get you. Thank you, students of Union, for inspiring us all. In other news, this week the Union Public Library added 35 new books to its collection. increasing the erotic novella section by 40% in size. Planes arrived and landed to and from Union Valley Airport this week at a 96% success rate. And we send our gratitude and congrats to the local Transportation Security Administration officers. It's been an excellent week for Union citizens. And again, our sincerest applause to this year's graduating class at UDH. Come back next time for Safe and Sound.
Birth, life, death. This is the cycle of human existence. You and your loved ones deserve to be treated with the highest level of care, from the moment life begins until the moment life ends. That's why we created a place for family to take care of family. I'm Jeffrey McDuffie, Director of Operations at the McDuffie Funeral Home. Here at McDuffie, we treat you like one of our own. This is where I buried my mother, and it's where I'll bury yours. You'll love our beautiful facilities, commitment to family values, and tasteful approach to the post-mortem experience. McDuffie is the only funeral home in the Tolland County area to use state-of-the-art embalmment techniques, guaranteed to keep your beloveds as fresh and taut as you remember them. Here at McDuffie, we're by your side from beginning to end, because your loss is our loss. It's true, your loss makes us really sad. So next time your loved one lets go of this life, let us usher them into the next. McDuffie Funeral Home, give us your dead.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Patriot News. I'm Rebecca Buford. Before we get down into our countdown to prom programming, I'd like to start off today with an apology to the prom committee for the controversy stirred up last week over the leaked promises floor plans. Although the prom committee has not gotten back to us with any information about the incident, I'd like to be the bigger person and reach out. I have to admit, I was hoping that the prom committee would issue some response to our reporting, but it has come to my attention that no members of the prom committee actually watched our last segment. And that's okay, because plenty of other people watch Patriot News, so it's okay if a few people don't. I know I don't care, and our field reporter Monica doesn't care either. We're here for the people, but we're also here for us. So I am here because I love delivering the news, almost as much as I love UDH. So Courtney Wennerholm and Audrey Lang, co-presidents of the prom committee, watch or don't watch. That's fine with me. And Joshua Benjamin, if you don't think people watch us, that's fine too. It's kind of freeing, actually, because I can say whatever I want. I could ask someone to prom right here, right now. If nobody's watching, it doesn't matter. So, hey, Joshua Benjamin, since you're not watching, why don't you be my prom date? Just kidding. Although, if you were watching and you did say yes, that'd be fine too. It's a weird day at the station. If you're wondering if I'm acting weird, I mean, I don't think I'm acting weird, but if you're picking up on something weird, it's just a weird day at the station. I just said weird so many times. My producer, Louise, has mono, so she's out sick for, I think she said, the foreseeable future. So we'll see what that means. We'll foresee what that means. Anyway, it's really quiet here. It's just me and the camera, which is weird. Shoot, I can't stop saying weird. Oh, I got my prom dress, finally. I got it a while ago, but actually we finally got it hemmed. My mom said it was made for an Amazon woman. That's how tall it was when I got it, but it fits really well now. So I just have to find the date so that I can get the right shoes. I mean, I can't get shoes until I know who my date is because I can't be taller than him. So otherwise I wouldn't be stressed out about finding a date. I mean, I'm not stressed out about finding a date. I need to find a date so that I can figure out what shoes to wear. Otherwise, who cares? Anyway, I just talked a lot. Today's Countdown to Prom segment comes to us from Alan and Jace of the band Starship Regatta. They will not be performing at prom this year. The committee decided on a DJ again, but they did make it to the final round of consideration. Let's hand it over to Starship Regatta, coming at us live from the music room with their song, Coliseum Blues.
Got that beat, I got that feeling. Only thing is, I ain't got no ceiling. It's the Coliseum Blues. Yeah, I got that Coliseum Blues.
It's college acceptance season, and you know what that means. Time for the frailest young adults of our society to lay themselves bare to the succubus of higher learning. A slinky woman in a dress who hides stowaways in the capitalist yacht we call secondary education. Well, let me be the first to call BULLSHIT bullshit. If any of you kids are watching, I fell for it too. It's a sexy trap. Get out of town, experience diversity, learn Chinese and philosophy. I'll say it again. College pamphlets are the best propaganda since Mein Kampf. But everything you get, the cafeteria, the gym, the sex, it all comes at a price. The price of your soul, my friends. The price of your very being. You are being molded into a member of society. You're paying for it. What's the currency? Free will. I'm not crazy. I spent 8 months at university before I realized what I'd become. I woke up one morning and my hands didn't look the same. I had bruises and dents on my fingers. Why? Why? Because I'd spent all night with a protractor trying to write proofs. I had no interest in proofs. I was required to take a class which required me to write proofs. And I woke up that morning and I thought to myself, why spend one more goddamn hour changing the shape of my hands in order to prove something I don't believe is true in the first place? So I left. They teach you what robots need to know. It took me a long time to undo being a robot. That's how they raise you from beginning to end. It's drilled into us to behave by the rules set forth for us by science and math, when really all of it's arbitrary human philosophy. But you can leave. You can get out of it. Even better, you can steer clear of it. It takes a toll. I don't have a job because society decided you need a college degree to work in a goddamn supermarket. I'm sitting here in the fucking dark because I haven't got my ass to Lowe's to buy light bulbs for my lamps. But I have my free will. To the extent that free will exists, if any, I have my free will. My parents might put me on the street at any moment. I told you, there's a price for being free. But I recognize my hands in the morning. I wake up and they're exactly the same shape as I left them. No bruises, no protractors, just the skin I was born with and the skin I'll die in. That, to me, is the closest thing to freedom.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Safe and Sound. We have some wonderful news to report today, directly from Nurse Kiernan Boyd of the Union District School System. I ran into Nurse Boyd in the parking lot by the A&P yesterday, and you know what she said to me? The most incredible thing. She said, Arthur, not a single student has missed school this year because of the flu. Kids have missed school for plenty of other reasons, but none for the flu. And why do you think that is? I asked her. Well, she said, this was the first year we offered free flu shots to all the students on school premises. Now, isn't that remarkable? I had no idea. The school offered flu shots to everyone. And not only that, it reduced flu-related absences by 100%. Of course, Nurse Boyd would not commit to saying that we're out of the gate with the flu season, but think of all the good that's been done here. These things may seem small. They may seem very small indeed, but I am simply thrilled by this accomplishment for our Union District students and local healthcare system at large. There's so much awful stuff going on in the world today. It's almost impossible to get up in the morning. You turn on the news and it's just, oh my God, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm not saying anything new. I'm not really trying to say anything new, but we have to take the small things. That's what this show is for. We have to take the victories. So, thank you, Nurse Boyd, for sharing that spectacular news with us all. Let's all get those flu shots, folks. If you're my wife, of course, you're thinking, flu shots won't keep us safe. Rose is very frightened of germs. I'd imagine it's why she spends so much time in that greenhouse. You can't get sick from plants. But you're not my wife. You're, well, I don't know who you are. You're somebody. You're somebody, and I'm somebody, and that's quite enough for me. You know, if you'd allow me to get off topic for just a moment, I'd like to thank you sincerely for being here. I don't know if any of you are here, truthfully. It's quite early, it's quite dark outside, but I'd like to thank you for watching. It can be very rather lonely, you know, just living, especially in this house. It's got a rather closed floor plan, so everything is very separate. I brought up the house on Gablefield to my son, to Owen, but it didn't seem to grab him. He and Rose have a very similar temperament. They're resistant to change, I suppose, to communication too. They're resistant to communication. Maybe everyone is, you know, in a way. I am here, after all, at this desk instead of being in bed with my wife. I'm sure they think I'm resistant to communication too. Having folks to talk to, there's no honor like it. I'd like to share with you that Union Valley Airport had a nearly record-breaking week for arrivals and departures. Planes traveled safely to and from 7 different states. Post-flight surveys indicate a near unanimous 5-star service rating from passengers, and we couldn't be more proud of all the work that goes into making sure our citizens travel safely. It's nice to share some good news, you know? Someone has to report the planes that land.
My name is Deborah Carmelesco, and I'm the author of the new children's book, Is God My Friend? On behalf of the Union Public Library, I'd like to invite your family to Children's Story Hour. This month's theme is Local Lassies. We'll be featuring books from local authors such as myself and serving beers from local brewers such as my husband.
Hey, I'm Spencer Carmelesco, and I'm the maker of the new brew, Breast and Show, a velvety milk stout themed for the ladies. Sip some silky goodness straight from the teat while your kids enjoy original literature with some of Union's most accomplished women authors.
Story time starts at 4 p.m. with Patricia Riley's book, Bad News for Dojo Mike, and Danica Tyler's My Body Knows Everything. Stick around afterwards for a show from Mr. Phillips, everyone's favorite clown in town.
And while the kids are chuckling, come a suckling over at the Union Brewster truck. Ladies drink free, so we guarantee you'll have a happy ever after.
Children's Story Hour at the Union Public Library.
Bottoms up. Cheers, babe.
Good evening, everyone. We hope you're well. We understand that this is not our typical time, nor our typical date. However, we are here today under extraordinary circumstances. In my 10 years here, Death Watch has reported primarily untimely deaths. We believe that such a thing exists. There have been untimely deaths. There have been some stillbirths, some calamities, some sudden onset illnesses. As we always say, old age outpaces all. Yet today is a special day in Union Death Watch history. For the first time in my reporting, we have ourselves a self-inflicted death. Right here in the town of Union. You heard correctly. One of our 854 citizens has killed himself, marking a death that is both temporarily and casually unusual. The motivation remains unknown. Owen Sullivan is survived by his parents, Arthur Sullivan, civil engineer, and Rose Sullivan at the Union Greenhouse and Nursery. We extend our deepest sympathies to the Sullivan family in this troubling time. That said, we also extend our congratulations to Union on this remarkable day. From a purely anthropological perspective, we thank Mr. Sullivan for diversifying the cause of death statistics for our town. Should someone discover the records of this region thousands of years into the future, when the rest of the world has been destroyed, they will understand that Union was home to a range of lives and deaths. We did not merely wait until old age took us away. Some of us were braver than that. Or perhaps more cowardly. Some of us were different than that. We did not all succumb to life's plan. But more, much more than this, I did it my way.
Thank you for watching Union Community Television. Safe and Sound at 4:45 a.m. has been canceled. If you are interested in producing a public access show for UPT during this slot, please visit our website for more information.
Good morning, students. It is my understanding that most of you are aware of the announcement I am about to make. However, it is my obligation to share with you the devastating news that one of our own Union District High students has suddenly passed. As you can imagine, this comes as a shock to our UDH community. Owen Sullivan was one of our most treasured students. He may not have been popular. Hopefully we may set aside the perpetual popularity contest of high school for a moment. He may not have been well known, but he was certainly well loved. The news of Owen's passing was reported on local station Death Watch last night and confirmed this morning by a neighbor of Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan. Please keep the Sullivan family in your minds and hearts as they navigate this shattering loss. I don't know what else to say. I've never had to do this before. You can turn the camera off. You can turn the camera off, Louise. You can.
I'm Selectman Pat Fletcher, and this is a public service announcement from Town Hall. If you are a homeowner in possession of household hazardous waste, wait no longer. A pop-up household hazardous waste drop-off facility will be coming to the Tolan County area for the next 6 weeks. There is no charge for the use of this household hazardous waste facility by Union citizens with proof of residency. Acceptable household hazardous waste may include drain cleaners, batteries, aerosol cans, metal polish, transmission fluid, paint thinners, pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, and other forms of household hazardous waste. Thank you, and God bless.
Ladies, gentlemen, yet undecided, listen up. It's a big fucking day. And before you say shit about my goddamn lamps, save your breath. While you all are running around town with your little tasks and hobbies, helping the world spin on a tilt instead of tipping the axis, I've been doing some thinking. I've got 101 theories about the universe, and they all sound crazy to you, don't they? Don't they? Well, buckle up, because reality's here, and it looks more like the inside of my head than yours. If you watch the show, if you're with me, you know that the universe is on the knife edge of metaphysical collapse, and it's been theoretical up until now. If you follow Death Watch, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're a fucking idiot. Burt Moss is my hero, and trust me, they won't rerun that episode. But here we go. A kid killed himself for the first time in this town in like a long fucking time. Now, if that doesn't rock your damn world, I don't know what will. People rock around this place like Union was God's second Eden, but look at us now. A kid offed himself in his own home. How fucked is that? Yeah, it's sad. It's actually extremely tragic. But think about it. Isn't there some existential implication there? Something innately philosophical? Nay, dare I say it, something political? It's a repudiation of everything and anything we've ever held dear as humans, an utter defiance of some proverbial God's plan for humanity. No, I will not die when you tell me to. It means ripping open the seams of the life cycle and throwing yourself onto a different spoke of the wheel. It means no to Lady Fate. You chose when I was born, but you will not choose when I die. Suicide is a sin, according to the Bible. You're not supposed to take death into your own hands. That's God's job. It's a total upheaval of our structures. Everything is founded on the principle that the old die first and the young die last, and they raise children sometime in between. And it recycles over and over. But a young person dying before an old one? A child dying before his parents? The fuck do you think you are, Owen Sullivan? Upending the fucking life cycle? Who do you think you are? But then again, you know, why don't humans kill themselves? That's what Camus says. Life is shit. That's what Buddhism says. We have this biological craving to survive. Maybe that kid didn't have it. Maybe there was something wrong with him. I don't know. Or maybe he was just braver than the rest of us. Maybe he knew that the end of the world needed to be demonstrated to us. The fact that we do hold the power to undermine existence in all forms. The revolution starts when we pick up our swords. No new messiahs have yet to be born. We're not waiting for anyone. If a kid from Union can throw everything fundamental about humanity into disarray, then imagine what we could do to change the world. The possibilities are mind-bending. All I'm asking, I'm just fucking asking for you to think about it. Think critically about it. Don't sit on your beds mourning when it's fucking fake. Get over it and think about it, because otherwise that kid's death meant nothing at all.
I didn't know Owen Sullivan. I mean, I knew who he was, I knew his name, but I didn't really know anything about him. I think we were friends in preschool, maybe. I can't remember. That's so stupid. I can barely remember anything about him. Oh my God, that sounded really mean. I mean, I didn't mean that he wasn't memorable. I mean, I just can't remember. Like, it's a me thing, not a him thing. I didn't even know him well enough for there to be a him thing. God, I'm like tearing up. I don't even know why. everyone said, don't do the broadcast. No one's going to be watching it now. But I was like, no one's probably watching it anyway. And the news needs to keep going. I mean, we signed up to report the news, so this is news. We can't pretend it didn't happen. That's not fair to anyone, especially Owen Sullivan. I mean, we can't pretend it didn't. So we are going to pass it over to Monica in the field. Monica, what can you tell us about student morale towards this horrible event?
Rebecca, I've been surveying the crowd here and morale is low. People are upset. They're concerned the school as a whole is going to take a big hit from this. They're concerned prom is going to be canceled.
Oh, I'm so stupid. I wasn't even thinking about prom. I actually meant more like, how is morale in terms of emotions? Are people depressed about the news?
People on the ground are very upset. The distress began last week when Dean Budwick canceled school. The students interviewed were relieved to have had the day off, but multiple people raised concerns that such administrative action might foreshadow the canceling of upcoming events, namely prom.
Okay, can we put prom aside for a second, just purely about Owen Sullivan? How are people doing?
Well, I'm a field reporter, Rebecca, so I'm reporting what's going on in the field. And what's going on in the field is concern about prom. But yes, people are very sad. Someone died. It's obviously very sad.
It's unbelievable. I mean, someone we know. I'm like, I don't know, I'm shocked. Are you shocked?
We understand you're very upset, Rebecca. Owen was a good friend of yours.
He wasn't a good friend of mine. I hardly knew him in the first place.
You seem extremely distraught about someone you hardly knew.
It's extremely distraughting. Distraught making, distressing, it's distressing. I mean, a person we went to school with did this to himself. I mean, how could something like that happen?
It's very sad.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone agrees. Everyone also agrees that canceling prom would be very sad too.
Okay, Monica, thank you so much. We're gonna transfer back to the station.
Everyone's upset, Rebecca. It's not just you.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna transfer back now.
Bye. We love you, Owen.
Okay, we're gonna. I'm so sorry for rambling earlier. I think I'm just maybe really tired. I don't know, Owen. I didn't know. I'm really wishing the best for his family right now. I didn't know them either. Don't know them. They're still alive. I mean, I'm assuming they're still alive. God, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just really tired, I think. My mom said that we could go shoe shopping last week when school got canceled, but I wasn't even in the mood. I just didn't think that this could... Not here, I mean, at our school. I didn't think. But I guess you never know. Or maybe I just never knew. Maybe I was just being stupid the whole time, and Owen was always that way, whatever way he was, and no one noticed. I mean, I've been talking about prom for 2 months. How would I have even... Oh, I'm so sorry. It's about time. I'm getting them. I'm really sorry for... I'm sorry for everything. I am Rebecca Buford, Patriot News. This one's for Owen.
I'm Selectman Pat Fletcher, and this is a public service announcement from Town Hall on behalf of the Union Public Library's Children's Story Hour. Children's Story Hour will be canceled this week following the tragic death of one of our citizens, whose memorial service will be held in the library common space on Friday. So again, Children's Story Hour will be canceled. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by canceling Children's Story Hour and look forward to rescheduling Children's Story Hour. Featuring Deborah Carmelesco's debut children's story, Is God My Friend? Thank you, and God bless.
Hello, folks. Before we get started, let me draw your attention to the fact that I'm broadcasting to you from within a fucking halo. I went to Lowe's today to get light bulbs. God, what a boring thing to say. I went to Lowe's to get light bulbs. That's so sad to hear myself say. God's worst robots work at Lowe's, but I did. I went to Lowe's to get light bulbs because I said to myself, Roscoe, it's time to get out of the fucking dark. If Owen Sullivan could do it, so can I. And when I got to where they keep the light bulbs, it's in aisle 7, if anyone's interested, there was this couple in the aisle arguing about what kind of towel is going to look best with their Caledonia marble countertop. Now, if that's not the most depressing thing I've ever heard, it's that kind of shit that makes you remember what's important in life. The big, broad stuff. When you see people about to end their marriage over the color of their dish rags, you remember the stuff that's important. So, I don't know if you can see my fucking eye. If you can see my fucking eye, then you've probably got a few questions like, what the fuck happened to your eye? Well, what the fuck happened to my eye was that I got my ass out of the basement and knocked on Owen Sullivan's door. Didn't think it'd be a goddamn cry. See, I was thinking, and I realized I couldn't be satisfied guessing what this kid's death was about. I had to know everything about him. So I found the guy's address and knocked on his door. All I wanted to know was why he did it, what he was like, what his folks were like, if he wrote anything down, if he watched my show. Needless to say, his dad wasn't happy. Got punched in the face by a dude in his 60s. Seriously? Right? You're probably thinking, I'm crazy. Who knocks on a dead kid's door trying to talk to his parents? But I maintain I did nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with questions. There's nothing wrong with asking them, especially with what's at stake. I mean, don't you see that the answer to everything is right here? The answer to life, death, why some people live and others don't. What the fuck, Owen Sullivan? Look at what you did. You made a choice that most of us are never fucking bold enough to make. And why? Why you and not me? I'm not God's gift to earth. I think about it. I think about it all the time. I'm no martyr. I'm a fucking dumbass in a basement who makes everyone I know miserable. So why don't I step off the chair? Why him? Why Owen? Why him?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rebecca Buford, and this is Patriot News. Today, I am moderating the station's first ever panel debate, an unexpected addition to our Countdown to Prom series. I am here with our field reporter, Monica, current senior, Joshua Benjamin Swisher, and Alan and Jace of the band Starship Regatta. Thank you all for being here. As you know, prom is scheduled for Saturday. As you also know, Dean Budwick motioned yesterday during assembly to cancel prom following the tragic death of fellow student Owen Sullivan. Let's start a dialogue here to get a feeling for how the student body is reacting to this news.
If I can just start things off, Rebecca, I'd like to say that I find the news appalling. Our school has been struck with tragedy. We need prom more than ever. Why punish the whole student body by taking it away?
Yeah, but also it's a huge deal for someone to die. We should acknowledge that it happened. What he said.
But we can acknowledge that it happened in other ways besides canceling this enormous school event.
I will say I'm concerned about the financial implications. Many students have invested in non-refundable attire for the prom. I know I pre-ordered an expensive boutonniere.
What he said.
And the prom committee has already spent so much money preparing for this all year. How do you explain that to the taxpayer?
Do taxpayers contribute to our prom fund?
I don't know, but they'd be super sad if they did.
Joshua Benjamin, do you have any thoughts?
Just Josh. And I think it sucks.
You're totally right. Which part sucks?
like all of it.
That's so true. Joshua Benjamin is a senior, so we are grateful to have someone this knowledgeable on the panel.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Rebecca, could you maybe stop drooling over Josh for a second and engage with us in this dialogue?
Are you kidding? I'm not drooling over. That is so dumb, Monica. Seriously, I'm recognizing that Joshua Benjamin may have institutional knowledge that we don't, which supports canceling prom.
Whoa, I didn't mean we should cancel prom.
Yeah. Wait, what?
The whole thing totally sucks. It's really sad, and we shouldn't forget about it. But that doesn't mean we should cancel prom. Ian wouldn't have wanted that.
Owen.
Huh?
His name was Owen.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
No, you said Ian.
Oh, sorry, Owen. We love you, man.
I actually think prom would be a great way to honor Owen. It's a time for everyone to come together and have fun and celebrate life. What a better way to honor someone who died?
But he didn't just die. He killed himself.
That constitutes dying last I checked.
But it wasn't like he was having a great time and then he died. He was having probably a terrible time and then he killed himself.
So we should all have a horrible time just because he did?
Yeah, I'm with Maria on this one.
Monica.
I thought his name was Owen.
Alan, Jace, what do you think?
Honestly, I think we should respect what happened, but I don't think canceling prom is an effective way to do that.
What he said.
So we're all in agreement then.
I think I'm late for class.
Rebecca, should we start the song?
Yeah. Thank you all for a lively debate. We will catch up with you next week with further updates on prom. Now, Starship Regatta will play us out with their song Rockabye Amelia Earhart.
You flew across the great Atlantic till they lost your signal frantic. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Mama said, I'll see you later. To her little aviator. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Rockabye, Amelia Earhart. Rock yourself o'er the ramparts. Rockabye, sweet young hero. Fly. We are Starship Regatta.
I hurt my fist. My hand. I hurt my hand. It was a fist. When I heard it, I had hit a guy, and since forever, well, deployed. When I was, I hit a guy then. You guys know, right? I don't know why there's nobody watching this. I don't think they fucking get this broadcast past Main Street. I hit two guys, actually. The guy at the station wouldn't give me my show back. So I hit him. And now we're here. So that goes to show, hit him once, shame on you. Hit him twice, shame on you. So I'm I had a drink before this. I had a couple drinks before this. It's 5 a.m. somewhere. Look, it's kind of blue. I don't know if you can see. It kind of feels good, to be honest. It hurts something awful, but it kind of feels good. Rose didn't notice. She's been on the couch for a while. We had some rice last night. We're having a nightmare. Guy knocked on our door with all these stuff to say. He had all these questions, stupid questions. He kept saying, I need to know, like a broken record. I need to know. Rose answered the door. I wouldn't have even known if she hadn't started crying. It was so loud, it woke the cat. We forgot to feed the cat yesterday. She was crying so loud, and he kept saying it. Come on, I need to know. So I came out, and he was hugging her. I need to know, and he was hugging her. Oh, we've got to feed the cat today. Anyway, he's got his arms around her like he's her goddamn son, and that was the part that got me so angry. Who do you think you are, that motherfucker? So I hit him. And Rose went back to bed. I don't know if she liked that I did that for her. Owen, if you're watching this, I know you're not. But if you are, you're not. I know you're not. But if you are, your mom and I are so... I don't even have any news from you. Your mom and I are so... If I don't feed the cat's gonna die. So I gotta feed the...
Yeah. And I told her point blank, the difference between me and you is that you are fundamentally satisfied with the condition of the world, and I'm fundamentally dismayed. She couldn't wrap her head around that. And I realized then that I could never date someone who is content with not asking questions. It doesn't matter how much you love another person if you won't even take a look at the world through their eyes. So that's my manifesto on love. And right this second, there are a bunch of fucking teenagers on my lawn tonight wearing ball gowns. Why, you ask? Well, apparently it's fucking prom night. They were going to cancel it because, like I said, Owen Sullivan made a seismic shift in the universe. But the kids didn't like that so much, so they got the thing uncanceled. And I guess that means kids can tramp all over whatever lawn has the nicest trees and take pictures there. I don't remember that being a rule when I was in high school. I didn't go to prom in high school. Shocker, right? Not an ounce of fucking interest. There was this girl I liked, sure, but she turned out dumb as shit. Well, that's not true. She's very intelligent, but she didn't like me back. So who cares? I didn't go to prom with her. It's a capitalist enterprise designed to manipulate young adults into falling into some facsimile of love before their time, then ripping the Band-Aid off when it's time for college 2 months later. Who came up with that? Systems. Spend $100 on an outfit you never wear again. Who came up with that? It's enough to make you wish you were young again. All the fucking kids so fucking happy out there with their little dresses and shoes and smiling smiles and shit. They don't care if the world burns. They just want to slow dance in the cafeteria. They just want their first kiss. That kid didn't go to prom. I read he was a junior. He couldn't go to prom till this week, and now he'll never go. Which is good for him, because prom is fucking dumb. But he won't ever get to go. And you know what I was thinking? right when his dad hit me, right then in the door frame, I was hugging his mom and his dad came and hit me. And what I said to myself was, right then was, shit, Owen Sullivan will never get to punch a dude in the face ever again. I don't know if he's ever punched a dude. Probably not, but now he definitely won't. And that got me thinking, you know, did he kill himself because he didn't care about never getting to punch a dude in the face? Or did he kill himself for a different reason? And not getting to punch a dude in the face is just a side effect. I keep wondering about that. What did he mean? What did he accomplish? These aren't questions. I mean, they are, but we can't fucking know. That's killing me. Anyway, my eye fucking hurts. I'm having trouble fucking focusing and I gotta get a fucking job. So in that sense, nothing changed. Thanks a lot, Owen Sullivan. Sorry. I'm gonna catch up with y'all next week. Thanks for watching.
I know this is probably really weird. I'm not sure exactly how the broadcast works, so I'm not sure if this is actually broadcasting. I mean, it's not our regular time, so probably nothing's happening, but I kind of just wanted to sit here. I hope that's okay. I don't even know who I'm talking to if we're not broadcasting, but I'm just gonna pretend that we are for a second because I think I need to do that right now. It's prom night. As you can probably tell, everyone was so upset about it being canceled, they didn't think it was fair to Owen Sullivan. I kept saying that it was probably too late to be fair to Owen Sullivan, but nobody really agreed about that. So, it's prom night. And I'm here, just like everybody else. I guess I'm just thinking about him. I keep thinking about what it must have been like in the room when he did it. He must have felt so lonely. Or not. Or maybe he felt really unlonely. I don't know. I feel really lonely though, right now here in this room alone. I can't imagine it felt that different for him, feeling really lonely. High school is like, it's so weird, right? Like there are all these people that you grow up with during this formative time, and then some of them stick around and some of them leave and some of them die even, and you barely even knew them even though you saw them every single day. And all the stuff that's happening feels so important. Everything is so important all the time, and then when something actually important happens, it's like, shoot, all that other stuff was just stupid. Not that I think prom is stupid. We spent so much time in our countdown series. That wasn't stupid. But come to think of it, yeah, that was stupid. Really stupid. Or maybe it wasn't stupid. Maybe it just wasn't important. Now I'm rambling. I do that sometimes. Maybe that's why I like doing the news, because I ramble so much. Or why I don't have a prom date. I'm over the prom date thing, I think. It's hard to take it seriously now. I don't know, it felt like the most important thing in the world last month. Not so much anymore. Which is pretty sad if you ask me. I don't know why some of us get to stay excited about it and some of us have to get sad and lonely like me. I didn't see that coming this year. I should go back to the dance. My friends are probably looking for me, and we were having a good time together. I mean, that's what prom's about, right? Having a good time. So I'm gonna go back and do that. I don't know how to turn this thing off. I'm not sure if I turned it on, but I guess I'll just... Good night, everybody. Anybody. Happy prom.
Well, I'm surprised you came back. You who is watching this, you whoever is watching this. I'm surprised I came back. Me, who is doing this. It hardly. Anyway, you know what happened. I just couldn't do it. I'm trying it again. I don't know why. I guess I'm up this early anyway, and so I thought I might as well. I'm sorry, can you hear that ticking? I don't know if you can hear it, but it is driving me up a goddamn wall. My wife got this clock. She's been having trouble waking up in the morning, you know? I mean, I'll tell you, grief is the worst jet lag. She started staying up all night after it happened, just waiting in the living room for him to come home. You could tell her a million times he wasn't coming home, and she wouldn't take her eyes off the door, not for a second. She'd make me bring her coffee, too. She drank about 8 cups, trying to stay up. But then the sun would come up, and he wouldn't be home, and then she'd just fall over and fall asleep. And I'd have to tiptoe past the couch all day, trying not to wake her up. We had to talk about it last week. I told her it didn't make sense to be nocturnal. He wouldn't want that. So we're working on sleeping at night and getting up in the morning. But it's hard. Now she'll sleep all through the night, but then she can't get out of the bed in the morning. It's like training a baby. And so, anyway, after all that, she bought this clock at Home Goods. Oh, she loves that store. They have great pillows. Somehow she picked the clock with the loudest freaking ring you've ever heard, and I wouldn't mind it because it usually wakes her up, but the ticking is driving me crazy. I feel like I am losing my mind. It's like a time bomb all the time. Except we're not hurrying for anything. You know, the fact that it's like a time bomb, it's just mocking us, you know, it's mocking the fact that we had all the time in the world to spend with him and do these things and talk to him and make him food and teach him new words and take him to the zoo and all this stuff. And it wasn't enough. I see all these people with their kids. The people are on their phones while they're walking with their kids. And it's like, look at them. Look at your goddamn kids. We take them for granted like they're accessories, like there are accessories when they're actually these living, breathing people who have got so much more power than you even realize. It's just clocks don't tell you that. No one tells you that. I'm so sorry. I wanted to say something good. I'm sorry.
Well, this is it, fuckers. I'm packing up. My parents finally kicked me out. That's a little harsh. They asked me to leave for the 10th time, maybe. So I guess you could say they kicked me out. Apparently, they asked around and got the story on the black eye. I said to them, I was the one who got hit. Why are you kicking me out of the house? Like, I'm the victim here. Load of bullshit, obviously. Everyone's the victim and the oppressor, but that's another episode. I've been doing a lot of thinking, as usual, as I usually do, and I have to own up to something radical. That radical something is the possibility that maybe, just possibly maybe, the Owen Sullivan theory isn't all it's cracked up to be. Hear me out. A kid killed himself. Metaphysical, sure. Philosophical, maybe. Political, who's to say? But I'm not so fucking sure anymore that he meant a goddamn thing by it. He didn't leave a note. He didn't write a manifesto. I was holding this rope to my neck the other night. Not to do anything. I just wanted to know what it felt like. And it crossed my mind, right? Right then, that maybe he didn't do it for any fucking reason at all. And now I'm a goddamn idiot for reading meaning into a freak accident that happened because the kid got lonely. Because if this was the end of the world, the end of all structures as we know them, the end of this fucking town, something would be different. And I keep waking up morning after morning and nothing's different. Nothing changed one fucking bit, except now I have a black eye and have to go get a job. Or maybe it is the end of the world and I just thought it'd be a little bit more exciting. Anyway, I'm going down to Lowe's. Shit place to be, but I like the smell. I learned that when I bought those, the light bulbs. They're hiring, I bet. Okay, so Owen Sullivan was a bust. So what? Come back next week for something different. Because I guarantee you, once I prove to you that history is an idea, you're gonna blow your fucking load. Get ready, fools. This is the Talkback.
Good morning, everyone. This is Patriot News. I'm Rebecca Buford. It's the week after prom, and spirits are still high from a night of dancing and friendship that'll last us a lifetime. I'm actually not here to talk about prom, though. I have some news to share with all of you, which I hope won't shake things up too much as the school year ends. I wanted to let you know that next year, I will be stepping down from my post as head reporter at the Union District High's Patriot News station. This may come as a surprise to some of you, especially since this is the main reason that most of you know me. Or really, this is the only reason that any of you know me. But I think I have done everything that I feel I can do at Patriot News. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to share hard-hitting stories with you all here at UDH. But don't worry, it's not all over. Senior year, I am thrilled to announce that I will be taking on an internship at the Union Community Television headquarters. They don't have an internship program at the moment. I think I might be the only person to have ever expressed interest in an internship with them, but they are creating an intern position just for me where I'll be researching stories, making coffee, all sorts of exciting things. So I'll miss you all here. I will be handing you over to my field reporter, Monica, who's replacing me. I've learned a lot here in a lot of different ways, and I feel like I've changed in different ways. So it's been an honor. But for now, I hope you have a great summer. Don't forget about me. I won't forget about you. This has been Patriot News at Union District High. I'm Rebecca Buford. For the last time, signing off.
I'm back today because something very strange occurred. Something very strange indeed. And if you can forgive me for everything I've said the last couple of times I was here, I think I'd like to share it with you. I checked my mailbox today for the first time in God knows how long and found all of these. They're all from you. And I want to read this one. Dear Arthur, my name is Opal and I'm 8 years old. I'm not allowed to watch your show in the morning because it's too early, but mommy records it on the TV. Thank you for giving us so much good news. I would like to give you some good news. My grandpa was in the hospital for 3 weeks after he fell down the stairs. I visited him at the hospital on Monday, and he just took his first steps. This is very good news because it means that he will be able to walk again. My grandpa says hello, and I will tell him you say hello to your friend, Opal. Now, Opal sent in a picture that she drew of herself and her grandpa walking through the park. Opal, if you're watching this, I want to say thank you very much for your picture. It is the most beautiful picture that I've ever seen. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to put it up on my fridge because that way I can look at it every time I go to get some orange juice. Congratulations to your grandpa. I am so happy for you and your family. You know, I have to say, I never expected viewer submissions on this show. I've read every letter so far, and let me tell you folks, there's enough good news to go around. So I'm gonna go hang this up now, and when I get back, we'll continue with the show. Good morning, it's June 2nd. Hi, it's July 18th. It's 4:45 a.m. on August 23rd. It's September 4th, and school is starting up again. It's a hard time for all of us. Some of us more than others, but it's a difficult time for all of us. We have to remember to be kind to one another. But I'm not here to tell you about that. What I'm here to tell you about is that 52 people got home safe last night on a flight from Tupelo, Mississippi, all the way up here to Union. Not everyone is so lucky. But last night, 52 people were. You're watching Union Community Television, public access channel CRC 361, serving the greater Tolland County area. Thanks for tuning in. This is Safe and Sound.
Everyone, that concludes tonight's reading for La Mama's Experiment series. Thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate it, especially in these challenging times. On behalf of La Mama, if you enjoyed tonight's program or are able to make a donation to this nonprofit organization, you can make a donation on our website or text La Mama Live, all one word, to 44321. Thank you again for watching, and we hope you have a wonderful night.